it is that time to grind my meat. I don't know why. Game show.
Hi, my name is Fatima. I'm a professional chef, and these are my $170 meatloaf ingredients.
Hi, I'm Lorenzo. I'm a home cook, and these are my $18 meatloaf ingredients.
Have fun with Lorenzo.
Okay.
Okay, I can work with this.
Oh my God, I thought that was an animal.
I was planning on making an herby chicken meatloaf with crispy chicken skin, apricot chutney, and Duchess potatoes. I had an organic pasture-raised chicken that I was planning on using the whole bird for.
You are a chicken.
I had Yukon Gold potatoes.
We've got potatoes.
That I was gonna add eggs, cream, and butter to make very fancy Duchess potatoes.
I actually forgot we were making meatloaf.
All served with fresh herbs.
What are you?
And a lovely homemade chutney made with apricots.
Am I eating apricots as I cook?
And tamarind.
Tamarind? I've never seen it like this.
As far as meatloaf goes, this one is gonna be killer. With Lorenzo's recipe, I have ingredients you can find in your pantry or your grocery store. These might be on the simpler side. With a little bit of technique, we're gonna take them to the next level. If I had to guess, this must be $20. I was very close.
If I were to guess how much all this costs, I would say $175. We're off to a good start. So this is Chef Fatima's recipe book. What have you got in store for me today? Herby chicken meatloaf with crispy chicken skin, apricot tamarind chutney, and Duchess potatoes. Let's turn this chicken abracadabra into some chicken meatloaf.
Lorenzo, I sent you a whole bird and you're gonna use every piece of it. So the first step, we're gonna take off the skin.
I'm going in.
Use your kitchen shears to remove it from the body. Start snipping right between the breastplate and then start to peel apart the skin. Get it as whole and intact as possible.
Oh, I feel oddly rude.
You're gonna place it on a rack inside of a sheet tray and you're gonna place it in the oven to bake and dehydrate for as long as you can so that when you eventually fry it, it's gonna get nice and crispy.
I'm separating the meat from the bones.
But you don't have to be too precious about it because everything's gonna go through the meat grinder anyway. You're gonna pass all that meat through the meat grinder.
Okie dokie.
But make sure that your chicken and all the grinder parts are nice and cold so that the fat doesn't melt and start to stick.
Okay, yes! Success!
Lorenzo is gonna be making a pretty basic turkey meatloaf with a side of mashed potatoes, but I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm gonna be making a mini caramelized onion turkey meatloaf with potatoes roasty and a pan sauce. So first, I'm gonna be making caramelized onions. I'm gonna add my oil, a couple of tablespoons. I love yellow onions. It's a nice, neutral, versatile onion that can go into any recipe. I'm gonna let this cook for about 12 to 15 minutes. I'm looking for a nice golden brown color and where the onions have really softened.
I can't get this down in there. This is ridiculous. It's like a snake trying to eat a rabbit. Just minimal effort is all you need.
My onions are caramelized, and now I'm gonna add the ketchup and the Worcestershire. I love ketchup, it's one of my favorite condiments. And Worcestershire is just really versatile. It adds an umami, funk, salt to everything you add it to. I'm gonna transfer to this bowl and allow it to cool before I add it to my meat. And that's it, pretty simple, but it's gonna make a huge difference in the meatloaf.
Okay, we'll save that for some chicken nuggets on Thursday. Ground chicken, easy as pie.
So next, for your stock,
Gelatinous chicken stock.
in a large pot, you're gonna add your bones and your basic mirepoix, onion, celery, and carrots.
I love apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar is gonna help get all of that collagen out of the bones. It's gonna contribute to a nice, thick, dark colored stock. Once you get all of your stock ingredients in the pot, cover it with just a couple of inches of water.
Okay, that looks about right.
Once the stock comes up to a boil, you wanna bring it down to a simmer and cook it for at least a couple of hours until the liquid is halved and nice and concentrated.
I need to strain this. Chihuahua. Oy caramba. Look at that liquid gold.
Pour it into a shallow container to chill completely.
I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator and it's gonna turn into gelatinous stock.
Now it's time to start making my meatloaf mixture. I'm gonna add the turkey to the bowl, the whole grain mustard, about 2 tablespoons, my nutmeg, just for some earthiness, panko breadcrumbs.
I have my fixins for my meatloaf. I love bread. Just tear some pieces. Okie doke. So I believe I'm gonna mix this little bit of milk in here to make it kind of a paste. I guess this is just like breadcrumbs, right? My ground chicken, two eggs.
And then next, I'm gonna add my caramelized onion mixture. This is gonna add a lot of texture, some moisture. It's gonna add a lot of really great flavor. A generous amount of salt and pepper.
I love scallions. Ooh, cilantro. And then parsley to boot. Fresh garlic, and another one of my favorites, ginger. I'm gonna kind of fold everything together.
The parsley is gonna add just a bright green herbaceous element to the meatloaf, and then I'm gonna combine. I wanna make sure not to overwork the mixture. That's gonna create the mixture to get a little gummy and gluey and tough.
Gelatinous stock. Wow, look at that. I'm gonna put it through the strainer so I can incorporate it in easier. And little bits of it all the way through that meatloaf mixture, it's gonna be tasty.
The gelatinous stock is a really nice trick to make your meatloaf juicy and add a lot of flavor and prevent it from drying out in the oven.
Before I mix it up, I'm gonna put some salt and pepper. This smells fantastic. It is time to make the loaf part of my meatloaf. Pull up.
He's not going to be using a loaf pan. He's going to be shaping it like a loaf on a sheet tray. It's going to allow for maximum surface area in the 350-degree oven, allowing you to get nice crispy edges. My meatloaf mixture is looking good, and now it's time to shape it. Instead of making that big meatloaf, I'm going to make these cute little mini meatloafs. I'm going to grease the pan first, just with some neutral oil. This will prevent them from sticking. And I'm gonna fill them to the very top so you get a nice dome while they're baking. I like using a scoop. You can always eyeball them, but this scoop gives you consistency. I'm gonna put them in the oven at 375 to bake for about 20 minutes. They should be a little bit golden brown and slightly firm. Bye, meatloafs.
So I am making Chef Fatima's Duchess potatoes.
Which are very fancy potatoes that get piped and baked and turn out beautifully.
I love this. Quit slipping. Okay. I am going to just kind of quarter you. It just is easier to work with when they're chopped up. Next, scallions. Next, it's the tiniest garlic I've ever seen in my life. I'm just gonna roughly mince this sucker. I am ready to make me some Duchess potatoes.
I got russet potatoes from Lorenzo. He was planning on making a mashed potato. I'm gonna be making a potato roasty, which is a fancier version of hash browns. I like starting my potatoes in cold water. I'm gonna season them very well with salt.
All right, over here, I'm gonna make an aromatic cream sauce. I've got my garlic that I minced up, scallions. Ooh, it already smells good.
The reason I left the skin on is it prevents water from seeping into the potato. So when you start to grate them, they're still gonna hold that integrity when you're shredding them, making for a nice pancake.
So I'm gonna turn this off. It's about good. It's sauteed enough. And then I'm gonna add my cream. Let's just let the cream heat through.
I'm gonna use a paring knife to peel these. The peel should come right off, so I don't really need a peeler. I'm gonna shred them through the widest setting of a box grater. I'm gonna season them with salt. Potatoes can use a good amount of salt, so don't be scared.
All right, my Yukon potatoes have been boiled. I'm gonna make them into small little pieces using this funny little contraption, which is really cool.
Then make sure that your potatoes are nice and smooth and creamy.
I am gonna add my aromatics. Always season your food, peoples. Egg yolk, one at a time though, get in there. I'm kinda gonna paint it in. You know what, you deserve a friend. And last one. I think we're good. I don't want to overdo it.
I'm gonna use a good amount of butter, let that melt and get a little bit foamy before I add my potatoes. I'm gonna use a silicone spatula to make a flat pancake. This is gonna take about 10 minutes. I'm looking for a nice, crispy, golden brown.
Surprise, surprise, I'm gonna put it in a piping bag. Have I ever done this before? No. But I do know this little trick where you put the bag on a cup just so I can fill it easier.
The one tip I have for piping potatoes is not to fill your piping bag too much. Otherwise, you're just not gonna have any control over the potatoes.
All right, well, that looks good so far. I did it!
My potato roasty has started to get color on the edges, which means that the bottom side is very nice and golden brown. This should come right out. And then I'm gonna flip it and then slide the pancake back into the pan. That way, both sides will be nice and golden brown. This butter will help get the bottom side nice and crispy now. And this is gonna cook now on the second side for another 10 minutes and until golden brown and crispy.
I'm doing it, I think. This is fun. I think they're cute. Now, I get to brush a little bit with butter. Okay, these look great. I am gonna put this in an oven at 425 for about 15 minutes.
It's been another 10 minutes on my second side. So this is my potato roasty all ready to go.
All right, my chicken skins have been drying in the oven for a bit, and now I get to fry them. My oil is at about 375.
Fry your chicken skin in batches until crispy and bubbly, kind of like a chicharron.
Oh, chihuahua, it is like a chicharron.
For this meatloaf, I'm gonna do onions a second way. The first one was the caramelized ones that I added to the meatloaf mixture. This one is gonna be julienned and fried for a crispy garnish for my plate. Mandolins are dangerous, so make sure to protect your fingers. And if you start to get uncomfortable with how small your onion is and your hand is slipping, just give up. Turning these on to low, medium low, just enough oil to cover the onions. I like starting my onions in cold oil to fry them. It reduces the chance of them burning. We're looking for a nice, even golden brown. Probably would take about 20 minutes.
Couple more. Get in there and do your thing. More. Here are my crispy fried chicken skins.
So the onions are nice and golden brown. They're at the perfect point to pull them out. I'm gonna season my onions slightly. And here are my crispy fried onions.
I am about to make apricot chutney. I guess it's my replacement for ketchup.
Typically, meatloaf has a sweet and sour sauce that goes on top of it, whether it be ketchup or barbecue. This is my sauce that adds that element to it. The apricot's gonna be nice and sweet, and the tamarind's gonna be nice and sour. So tamarind comes in a couple of different forms. I like the brick form. It sometimes has seeds in it, but it's a nice concentrated form of tamarind.
I am gonna kind of steep that block of tamarind with boiling water. Next, I'm going to simmer my apricots. My apricots are boiling. I'm gonna turn down the heat and cover it, let it simmer for like 30 minutes or so.
So my mini meatloafs are out of the oven, but they're still a little bit blonde on the bottom and around the sides. So I'm gonna sear them in the pan to get them brown everywhere. I reserved some of my onion oil from frying before. It's nice and infused and aromatic. I'm gonna take my meatloaf and put it bottom side down. I'm gonna fry them briefly on each side, just for some color.
So my brick of tamarind has been soaking for about 15 minutes.
Once the tamarind is nice and soft, you can use your hands to get rid of the seeds.
Hard, yucky. You don't want that.
Caramelization equals flavor. So adding this color is just gonna mean that there's gonna be more depth in your dish. Gorgeous.
My apricots have been simmering for about a half hour. I'm just gonna strain them out. Apricots are looking good. I'm gonna move on to the tamarind.
It should be pliable so that when you go to strain it, you can pass it through a strainer.
The smell is really pleasant. It's very earthy. Ready to make some chutney, folks.
Now I'm making my pan sauce. I had a little bit of oil from searing the meatloaf in the pan, added some butter, and I'm gonna add some minced garlic. I want this to get aromatic and slightly brown. I'm gonna use some water just to deglaze and loosen. Deglazing means to remove anything that's stuck to the pan while you were searing. It's just gonna add flavor. I'm just gonna add a splash of cream. The cream is gonna add a rich texture and some thickness to the sauce, seasoned slightly. I'm gonna add some Worcestershire, just a few drops. And I reserved some parsley before. Meatloaf is not a very colorful dish, so this green's gonna help.
Okay, this is the chutney part. Let's get these apricots in here. Onions and all this magic tamarind. It shouldn't be smooth, so I'm not gonna blend it very long. That's it. Needs some sweetness, definitely needs salt and pepper. I love it.
Delicious. And with that, we're ready to plate.
It is plating time. Look at this chicken meatloaf. We deserve 2 pieces. So a couple potatoes. Duchess potatoes.
So potatoes roasty first. It's nice and crispy in one big piece. I'm gonna grab one of my meatloaves. Looking nice and juicy. It's got nice color. It's gonna go right on the roasty.
my apricot tamarind chutney. You know what, I'm gonna do a little across thing. Beautiful fried chicken skin. It looks like a dragon.
I'm gonna top with my pan sauce. A nice spoonful should be more than enough. Finishing with my crispy onions for that texture and extra bump of flavor.
I don't mind the stems of cilantro. And this is my take on Chef Fatima's meatloaf recipe.
And here's my mini caramelized onion turkey meatloaf with potato roasty and my pan sauce.
I can't wait to see what she did with my ingredients, but. Hi, Chef.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, it's such a pleasure.
I'm excited.
Thank you for being here.
Whoa,
Wow.
that's amazing.
You made that out of my stuff.
You made it out of mine.
Well, you had 35,000 things. I mean.
I love your little animal and it kind of looks like a dragon.
It is a dragon.
It's got its wings.
But tell me, what did you do here?
I made potatoes roasty.
Roasty?
Roasty, R-O-S-T-I.
I've never heard of that before. It was
Yeah.
potato pancake kind of fried?
Kind of, but you cook it twice. Your little florets, by the way, are gorgeous.
Oh my
I approve.
goodness.
So would you like to try mine first?
Yes, please. That's delicious.
That is delicious.
So many different textures, first of all.
So I did the onions two ways.
Uh-huh.
One of them was the crispy on top, but then one of them was caramelized.
Okay.
And then I added the Worcestershire and the ketchup to it.
You want to attempt to try mine?
I know you nailed it, so let's try it.
I'm gonna end with the crispy, but I need this beautiful potato.
Oh my God.
And I need this little chutney. Wow, you already did it. My goodness. Here we go.
I just couldn't wait. What am I waiting for? That is next level.
That chutney,
That chicken,
it lights up everything, doesn't it? Oh, wait a minute. That's not fair.
crispy chicken. So what was the hardest part for you?
Yes.
All of it. Have you ground meat before? How was that?
It was a pleasure.
Were you sweating?
My shoulders hurt.
Oh no. I think you nailed all the little elements. You got my tray, you know exactly what to do. And it's a job well done.
That means a lot to me, honestly.
And maybe I'll try to take it easy on you for next time.
Sure you will.